Hi everybody. Do you want proof that it was all a scam and accusations of anti-Semitism in the Labour Party when Jeremy Corbyn was leader were being weaponised and then exaggerated by the media and by factions from within the Labour Party for political gain? Because here it is. On Monday, a charity called the Campaign Against Anti-Semitism publicly criticised Sir Keir Starmer on Twitter for, quote, using the Berlin Holocaust Memorial as some kind of prop in his latest campaign video as leader of the Labour Party. And it's not the first time the CAA have criticised a Labour Party leader. They relentlessly complained about Jeremy Corbyn during his tenure and even have an entire page on their website dedicated just to criticising him. The CAA's complaints during Corbyn's time as leader were so numerous it was reported to the Charity Commission for heading a number of anti-Labour campaigns. Now, during all of these attacks on Labour and Corbyn by the CAA when he was leader, he received little support from his own MPs, despite the negative press Corbyn received as a result of the CAA's complaints. He was being ripped apart. And all the time, Jewish Labour MP and Dame of the British Empire, Margaret Hodge, however, she never said a word in support of Corbyn during this turbulent period, despite her being an honorary patron of the CAA at the time. Instead, she was quiet about them. And then she added fuel to the fire, calling him a, quote, anti-Semitic racist after Labour's ruling body, the NEC, refused to adopt certain of the IHRA's definitions of anti-Semitism. Definitions such as criticism of Israel or labelling Israel a racist endeavour. They said, no, we're going to leave those out. A decision which Corbyn supported but was open to fresh consultation on. As a result of that, she called him, in front of a lot of witnesses, an anti-Semitic racist and then refused to apologise for it and was quiet about all of the attacks by the CAA on him. In response to this latest complaint by the CAA about Keir Starmer, however, Dame Hodge was quick to jump to her now party leader's defence, saying this on Twitter. Why does she speak out in defence of her dear leader now? Why did she not do the same when Corbyn was leader? Ruth Smith, strictly protect. Another Labour MP who was also quiet during the CAA's campaign against Jeremy Corbyn, all of a sudden had something to say about Keir Starmer being criticised by the CAA too. She said this on Twitter. It's incredible, isn't it? Dame Hodge and Ruth Smith didn't say a word when the CAA were criticising Corbyn. But now they suddenly jump to Sir Keir's defence. Let me remind you, Jeremy Corbyn was suspended from the Labour Party by Keir Starmer because he said, quote, the scale of the anti-Semitism problem in Labour was also dramatically overstated for political reasons by our opponents. This was in the wake of the Equality and Human Rights Commission's report into anti-Semitism in the Labour Party when he was leader. Isn't this all proving him right? Well, yes. Yes, it is, especially now we know what is in the so-called Forde report, the details of which have been leaked to the media in the last few days. Now, I haven't read it yet, however, the buzz is the report basically proves what many have been saying all along, that complaints of anti-Semitism were weaponised by factions within the Labour Party against Jeremy Corbyn when he was leader. Now, again, I have to repeat, this is what Jeremy Corbyn was expelled from the Labour Party for saying. He was expelled for saying the scale of the anti-Semitism problem was also dramatically overstated for political reasons by our opponents. Exactly the same thing Dame Hodge and Ruth Smith are now doing when they are jumping to the defence of Keir Starmer. Now, they're right, of course, in this instance. The CAA, if you ask me, is a pro-Israel, politically biased group. There being a charity is a nonsense as far as I'm concerned. And highlighting their complaints was nothing but a witch hunt by our media. But that also means Labour's MPs not only let that happen and said nothing, but leaned into the rhetoric with attacks of their own. They're right to say that this is a politically motivated attack by the CAA on Keir Starmer. but that also means that Corbyn was right too. Now, logic dictates that one of two things now needs to happen. Either Jeremy Corbyn should be given back the Labour Party whip by Starmer and issued an apology, or Dame Hodge and Ruth Smith should be suspended by him for doing the same thing that he suspended Corbyn for. Now, either way, it's 100% proof that #it was a scam and accusations that Jeremy Corbyn was some sort of raging racist who hated the Jews were being exaggerated by the media and by factions from within the Labour Party for political gain. In other words, Jeremy Corbyn was right all along. The BBC, by the way, on all this, are deadly silent. They're not saying a word about it anywhere on any of their news shows. I wonder why. That'll have to be a topic for another video. In the meantime, please go through to my website and sign up to my mailing list. It's free and we can talk directly because I'm not sure how long I'm going to have these platforms for. Thanks very much. Support independent media.